The bus service is so poor from where I live into Sheffield, I decided I was going to park at Attercliffe today and walk down the canal. So I'll take you on a bit of a journey up the canal. See, the old Victoria station was up there, shut down by beaching. And if anybody ever remembers, you used to be able to come straight down the parkway, and just down this road to the right is the Maltravers car park. It's cheap parking. I mean, you just had a short walk into Sheffield, into the market area. So it was never Meadowall that killed Sheffield city centre. It was the council's policy on cars. They used to make it really easy for you to come into Sheffield and park. But there's also a good bus service as well. But they've never really developed the Canal Basin as I expected. I thought it was going to be a proper retail area, but it isn't. It's more like offices for solicitors and people like that, and law. See the big new hotel, that's all been built on the old Maltravers car park. This was like the back end of the car park. See these units there for the hotel there, and then you get a few other units, but that's really about the only retail around here. This is known as the South Yorkshire Navigational Canal. Got a few food places around the edge, but like I said, I thought this was going to be like the old warehouse. At the bottom was going to be a big shopping retail area. So it's actually it is quite nice in the Canal Basin, but I don't feel they've made enough of the canal. And this is where people say I'm not forward thinking. I am. What they could be doing is, all the way along this canal into Attercliffe, they could be building decent starter homes for people. And there could be even a ferry service along the canal. But there's not enough boats actually using the canal. So we've got the old Sheaf Quay, should be part of our industrial past. It says 1819 on here, which I'm assuming is probably when it was constructed. It seems quite late, really. The Chesterfield Canal's been around a lot longer than that. But that would sort of fit in with the start of Sheffield as an industrial power. They probably built the canal first, then train service followed. Just give you a glimpse back along here. Like I said, if Sheffield City Council were forward thinking, there's loads of derelict land along this canal as you come into Attercliffe, building nice little starter homes for people. And it'd be a nice walk down the canal to work. So running to the right of me is Blast Lane, an old industrial area of Sheffield with cobble streets, and that's the next attack by the council on the car driver, because they'll actually be putting in parking meters and things like that. At the moment you can park along there in certain places all day. But today I walked in from Attercliffe, along Attercliffe Common and into Sheffield, and I'm walking back along the canal today. But at one bit Dinnington used to have 8 buses a day, or 8 different services a day. Now we've got 1 bus left, the X5, runs every half hour. And then on a Saturday afternoon it's every hour. But it takes an hour to get in Sheffield, so I'd rather have just parked my car up at Attercliffe and have a nice walk in. I think that's Burnley Road Cinema. Kicking muck out. But you very rarely see any boats coming down here. See our industrial past. Yes, summer it was grotty, but we could have cleaned a lot of the industries up, so we didn't have so much of a reliance on China. At some stage Chinese living costs are going to increase. They've got us over a barrel. A bit like when you buy a new car now, nobody knows how to do any work on it because it's all electronic, whereas in the past most guys would have tinkered with their own cars. Well, it's the same when you stop manufacturing, you forget how to use it. But they could do so much more with this canal if they were forward thinking. think part of this canal appeared in Full Monty film. I actually did look at buying a canal boat, and what I found is that they're quite cheap, but you do have high recurring revenue every year with all your mooring fees and various other things. You have to get your boat scraped every so often, so I worked out it was cheaper to live in an house than it was to buy an actual canal boat. These sort of things look great. You can still hear industry along here. The Sheffield City Council has their way. They'll be removing all of this and building flats all over it. I'd encourage other people to have a walk up the canal, being all the way up to Tinsley and a bit further along towards Rotherham. What I'll do is when I get a bit more interesting spot, I'll carry on with the camera. So we've got a bit more of an interesting spot here. I parked at Banners in Attercliffe. It's free parking for the day. You can either walk down into Sheffield City Centre or you can walk the other way to Tinsley. And there is a flight of locks at Tinsley. So we're on Bacon Lane at the moment. Like I see, this is how the old industrial pass would have been. and some of it's still being used. So like I say, I'll pick up again when I feel there's a bit more interest, and keep doing that as I go along. As I'm walking along this building here, I can hear machinery. I don't know if people ever remember walking down Penistone Road. You can hear the old-fashioned forges or presses down there. Like I say, I'll keep stopping and starting and picking up features as we go down. As you can see here how muddy it is, and then what they're doing is, which is certainly going to improve it, is they're putting this light grey gravel down. I noticed bags of it that still further down that have never been touched since last year, so it looks like they're gradually doing that, which is good, because this really is a jewel the council should focus on. It'd be great for them to put some notice boards down here telling people about our industrial past. I didn't expect it to be so muddy along here, but you can see all the way along there's bags of blue gravel. But you can still see the industry, it's still here. We should be nurturing this industry. Can still produce things in the UK cleanly and probably more cost effectively, because we won't be transporting it across the world. So we have actually got something on this bridge, if I can see it on the camera. Difficult to pick out, there's actually a... There it is, sorry. So that's Pinfold Bridge. 1926 I think, or 20. So I'm now at Stanford Road, Woodburn Athletics track. I think I'm going to carry on a little bit further, hopefully come up at the right place. But this looks like a modern bridge, and it shows that you can still do things and make them look good. So I think this is a super tram. Could be wrong, it might be the next one, we'll find out. So that was the super tram bridge. So we've got another bridge here. I don't know if this is a super tram bridge or whether it's a footbridge or what. In fact, I think we're going to find out in a minute. Oh no, that's on the other one again. But if you park at at Banners at Attercliffe and walk out towards Tinsley, you'll come to a viaduct for the canal that passes over Worksop Road that takes you into Darnall. Certainly worth a look at that viaduct. So I've just come up too early, I'm going to go back onto the canal, but the bridge we've just passed under is this bridge, and it shows that we can still do modern engineering and make it look nice. So we've got another feature here. I hope I haven't come too far and missed the exit to Banners. This is a rail bridge of some kind. Super tram just going along there. So I think I've come a bit too far, but it's really interesting here, so I'll show it you. Here we've got Canal, it's going over the top of the road. I'll take you down onto Worksop Road. I think I probably should have gone back off earlier. So if I so I'm coming down onto Worksop Road. You can see the aqueduct. It's lasted a few years. So that's it, that's a journey along the canal. But if you go and park at Banners and then walk to the bridge at Stanhope Road, you should be able to get down there. I should have come up earlier, but I think to show you the aqueduct at Darnall and Worksop Road is probably a better ending to the video. So that's it. See you again next week.